Hi, I'm Laura from TwoPaperGirls. Today I'm going to be reviewing My Mad Fat Diary by Rae Earl. This is actually the sequel My Madder Fatter Diary because my boyfriend currently has the first book. And my mum treated me to both of these books as a exam reward because I watched the TV show on E4 and it's absolutely incredible. It's such a good TV series. I really recommend that you watch it if you haven't already. But saying that, the book is quite different because the TV show can do quite a broad range of issues, whereas obviously this is a real person's diary, so it just has the real issues that one person might face. This diary is all completely true. The author Rae Earl is just publishing her diaries from when she was a 17 and 18-year-old growing up in Lincolnshire. However, in the start of the book she does note that some names have been changed and the order of events is slightly different for people's privacy and things like that. My Mad Fat Diary documents what it's like to grow up as a 18-year-old doing A-levels, having boy troubles, but also she's struggling with her weight and her mental illness. And I think because of this book is just laugh out loud hilarious because Rae's voice is just so funny but also just so honest. Like, she calls people offensive names and just rants and raves about her mum and how life is so unfair, but then she also writes tiny little poems which I think is really interesting and lists, and it's just such an easy book to read. I honestly think this is the only book that I've laughed out loud at. I'm not really one to laugh at books, but I was sat reading this on the beach and just laughing my head off because Rae is so hilarious, but then also it made me feel really sad at times just because I feel for her. I want her to be happy, and sometimes in the book she's not, and that is quite sad. I think this book is a real true representation of what it's like to be a teenager, and I'm also 18, so I could really relate to some of the things she was talking about. You know, things like, I'm never going to have a boyfriend, why can't I look like her, and just the stress of A-levels. As the diary develops, she goes through many crushes and many experiences, like getting drunk, having her first kiss, that sort of thing, and there is quite a love interest that develops towards the end, and if you've watched the TV series you might know what I'm talking about. However, I think that is my only complaint with this book, is there was no real ending because it's just 1 year of her real life, and obviously with real life you don't start January with a perfect beginning and end the next January with a perfect ending. So for that reason I felt like the ending was slightly abrupt and I wanted it all to resolve, and it didn't, but it was still a really entertaining read. And that is definitely why I'm currently reading the sequel, My Madder Fatter Diary, because it carries on pretty much straight from the first book and documents her second year of A-levels and also her starting uni, which is something I can relate to. Also a slight complaint is that sometimes she can get slightly repetitive because it's your own personal diary. She wasn't, at the time she wasn't writing it for an audience, so she might complain about the same things again and again, and you think, get a grip, Rae, just sort your life out, but because it's real that is a lot harder to do. And I know that at the end of this sequel she does actually sort of answer all your questions you might have, because again this will just end in the next January, and the author does actually put a question and answer thing at the end where she said what happened to her life, which I'm looking forward to reading when I finish this book. But overall, My Mad Fat Diary was so hilarious, just as good as the TV show, and it felt really honest. It was kind of like Georgia Nicholson but for an older audience, and I really, really loved it. It was just such a quick, fun read, and I gave it 4 stars. Okay, so that was my review of My Mad Fat Diary by Rae Earl. Go check it out if you're interested, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!